Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Realms. My name is Robert, of course, and today is Masters of the Universe ending? So, let's just get cut to the chase. There was a video posted that said from, quote, reliable sources that Masters of the Universe is ending as April, both Masterverse and Origins. And so, I'm just going to say some things that some other places have said, and then I'm going to add in my 2 cents. So, 2 live streams went up. Geek Dad Life went up talking about it. I'll have the links in the description. Within 5 minutes, they were saying, Spectre Creative has been saying this for years. Just repeating what is said, okay? Another one, Mega J Retro. Sorry about that, Jay. If you ever hear this, which I doubt you will. But Mega J Retro. Man, I'm tongue tied today. Had a huge live stream with a lot of people, and all through it, there was a couple of things said. One was, again, said that Origins was ending. Said it a year and a half ago. I looked on Spectre Creative's site or his channel. I scrolled down to about a year back. I did find a reference where he said that Masterverse was going to replace Origins. I didn't watch the video. Just telling you what I saw. And someone brought up in the live stream that, this is Scott Knightlick, who is the former brand manager of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe back when it was 2000 and went to subscription service. Again, I always thought that was the stupidest idea. And that he has a certain jealousy towards anything Masters of the Universe succeeding. Again, not me saying this. This is being said by other people. I'm repeating it. So now this is what I say. From a public relations perspective, since, my original degree is in public relations, this is a dumb move. Even if you know this is a dumb move. Here's why. First, if you're right, as a YouTube personality, you run into the chance of the shoot the messenger moment. People will lash at the messenger, and some of that seems to be coming out. If something happens that you turn out to be wrong, no matter how verifiable it is, because you know what? Here's the thing. No one listening can verify this. They can just say, all you can say is I have verifiable sources, but I can't give them to you to verify. That's not verifiable. Okay? Just get that out of the way right now. So, if you turn out to be wrong, you look like an idiot. So, this is a lose-lose situation. Not the smartest thing to do. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you're going to lose, just don't. Don't do not, just let things fall where they may. Wait till Mattel says something and then, say it. But, beside the point. Okay. Moving on. My own opinions. Now, I'm not a doom and gloom kind of guy. I've been enjoying Masterverse, I admit. One of the points brought up in the video was that everything's clearancing out. Well, also in the video he mentions that he bought a U.S. agent for $6. But is Marvel Legends being canceled? Everything's being clearanced out. The last 2 weeks of December are always the biggest sales, because they're trying to clear out their inventory. They try to clear it out right before Christmas, so people buy those last minute gifts, and they try to clear it out so that they don't have a lot of inventory to count for the beginning of the year, which ties up a whole lot of stuff, and you have to do it for taxes. I know this because I've owned a comic shop. I had to do that every year the 3 years I owned it. I had to go in and do my inventory. So that's a normal sales cycle. The other side of it is that this year was a little bit different because the supply chain issues cleared up, and there was a lot of stuff on the shelves. A lot of stuff came out right at that fourth quarter of 2022, which was supposed to come out in August. Because I can remember really vividly, there was stuff coming out for August that came out in October, and then stuff that was supposed to come out in November came out in October, and then stuff that was supposed to come out in January and February came out in November. I mean, it's not been that long ago. We all went through it, and it was kind of tough because it really drained the wallet. It was really, really hard to keep up with your stuff, and then all of a sudden they start clearancing out. Why? Because there was a glut of stuff, because that supply chain issue stopped suddenly, and then all this stuff, this deluge of product came in from everywhere. It was Mattel, it was Hasbro, it was all over the place. That creates even bigger sales, because the more glut you have at the end of the year, the more you're going to try to move it. That's a fact of life. And as we see the cycles, like next year's going to be a little bit different because they're going to cut back, because this glut kind of oversaturated the market and made for a very tough buying market. So, listen to me. I sound like I took a class in economics, didn't I? Wow. Saying all that, I'm not seeing anything happening to Masters of the Universe. I'm not seeing happening to every other line. And I see, online, you can see sales for stuff from last year going pretty cheap. I just bought, I was able to build the Age of Apocalypse Colossus, because I got a couple of those in that collection I got. I got a couple of boxed Age of Apocalypse figures, and so I decided I wanted to finish Colossus, and I got those super cheap. Oh, my wife got those super cheap, I should say, but she I wanted them for Christmas, and I pointed out to her, look, these are really on big sales, and she went, ooh, okay, yeah, I can get away with cheap. All right. So that's kind of how Christmas went as far as my toys went. She got me other stuff, as far as the toys she bought me went. That's how that went. I've taken advantage of some of these sales. I've seen them in both Masterburst. I've seen them in Marvel Legends, especially Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends is the big one. I saw them with some of the older G.I. Joe classifieds. I did take advantage. So, again, I'm not seeing anything unusual here. This is just me talking. Now, it seems like, to me, I've been through a lot of line cancellations. G.I. Joe, Lord knows that line got canceled how many times? And that was one of my central focuses. Same with Star Wars, the Legacy and then the Vintage. I was really on board with the Legacy collection. That was a really great line, and the Vintage collection kept going with it. And those got canceled. Vintage collection did come back. G.I. Joe is now in the classified area, but I've seen cancellations. Indiana Jones, that was a big one. That was like one I thought should have been handled better, and then boom, we would have had a good indie line. But we didn't. And again, now I'm just going to say this very bluntly. I seen signs. Oh, Marvel Universe too. That's another one. You see signs of a line dying, and I'm not seeing those signs. Clearancing out is not necessarily a sign. I'm not saying it's a good sign, but it doesn't mean it's dying. It means there's a glut. And that is exactly what we have right now, is a glut of product. And that's starting to taper off finally, but we still have a glut of product, and I don't know when that's going to end. Because it feels like right when we get to the end of it, more comes. I just got my notices on the Retro X-Men. I ended up canceling a couple of those because it was just too much at once. But that's all beside the point. I don't mean to bring in my woes of collecting, but yeah. So what I'm getting at is I'm not seeing any signs that point to a cancellation in 3 months. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing it. So that's my take. And if it gets canceled, it gets canceled. So be it. I mean, it happens. All lines end. Not a big deal. Do see a lot of panic over this, and a lot of people frustrated and mad, and trying to explain it away, and it'll go to online, which again it may do. I don't know, but neither here nor there. That's just my hot take on the imminent death of Masters of the Universe. There was some other stuff about trademarks. I'm gonna let other people talk about that because I'll just leave that alone. Okay, that's my take on Masters of the Universe ending. Don't forget to like and subscribe.